Hey, welcome to YMA Chat episode 21. And today I'm here with Mr. Yarwood, and we are going to be talking about respect. Respect is, as I wrote in the brief for this StreamYard, respect is a cornerstone of martial arts, practice, and philosophy. It is deeply embedded in the traditions, cultures, and teachings of martial arts from around the world. The concept of respect in martial arts transcends just a polite gesture or good manners. It is about honoring the discipline, the instructor, fellow students, and oneself. So we're going to be discussing several aspects today of respect as it relates to martial arts. So with respect and a reverence, I'm going to pass the mic over to Mr. Yarwood to get us started.
Thanks, Coach Les. I think respect is very deeply rooted in martial arts. It's pretty much like the thread that keeps everything together. Because we have, from the time we start, we get in the door to the time we're training, to the time we're interacting with other students, with our instructors, with our parents. It's all showing respect to one another. And so for example, the first thing we do when we walk in the door is bow. So we bow to our school, we bow to our training area. We just show respect for where it is we're going to be spending the next hour or 2 hours or however long you're going to be there. And it just kind of starts from there, and then we interact with the parents. We look them in the eye, we shake their hand, we ask them how their day is going, right? And it's not like a one-way street where everybody shows me respect, but I don't have to show them respect. All of our students, all of our parents, everybody is either sir or ma'am, regardless of their age, regardless of their rank. It all just kind of is built into all that. So I don't require that people show me respect and not give it back. So to me, it's all about a mutual thing and how we treat each other and how we act around each other and how we talk to each other and interact with each other. So it's a huge part of what I do, what we do as martial artists. Of course, I want them to show me the respect for as their instructor, as the leader of the school. I don't. It's hard. I demand it, but not in such a way that it's like condescending, right? I demand respect just because it helps to make everything function properly, right? And as their instructor, I've been doing martial arts for over 15 years. I earned my rank, I earned my position, so that with that comes the due respect. But it's not the you will respect me type of respect. It's like my actions and the way I carry myself just demands respect. So, but I don't walk around saying, "Hey, you didn't say this to me," or "You didn't call me sir, so give me 10 push-ups." Or I don't say, "You will call me this." It's not like that. It's just a matter of I've earned that place, and by how I act around other people, I get that respect from them. So it's something that I have to constantly earn. I can't just expect that I get it, because it's something that is it's reciprocal.
I think you said it in such a way for me too, how you carry yourself as the sensei, master, or sifu, or of the studio. For me, it's the work that you've put into it. And for me, it's the same as if I were to bump into some of the people that I know in the coaching business. If I were to, when I see Tom Ziegler, the son of Zig Ziglar, and the work that he's done to, one, fill his father's shoes, coming from the opposite personality type from his father. He was more of a computer I'll say this lovingly, a geek, whereas his father was more of a, salesman, car salesman / that personality. And so Tom, in filling his shoes, had to really work to level up to be able to acquire the respect from his father, from Zig Ziglar. And Zig Ziglar earned that respect over time, making a difference with so many people. Respect in this particular way, to me, became part of a thank you. In respecting Zig Ziglar, he earned thanks from so many people. I've been, as you know, Mr. Yarwood, I've been coaching now for over 22 years. And, actually it's as of this month. And I look and I see the difference that I've been able to make in my communities. And I just did a TikTok and a Facebook post about the gratitude that I have for people in my life that make a difference. And I was really moved by this last night. And because I saw, and I was watching this movie called Forever My Girl. And I started to see that that I haven't shown, and I haven't been cognizant of the difference so many people have made in my life, including my parents, even though they got divorced, and the difficulties they went through to deal with me. I was definitely, have done many stupid things in my life. I've definitely been a jerk. It's why I'm a divorcee. And, now that I'm married again, and the difference that it takes and the respect that I have, not only now for the institution, the respect that I have for the person that I'm married to, and the difference that I get to make by honoring that respect. And I think that respect is there sometimes by position, by the stripes on your black belt. And that gives me the foundation for where I build my respect. And from that space, watching you, learning from you, developing myself and how you interact with me, both for me in my particular case as my coach and master, and also I have the privilege of being your coach and client, and you're my client. So there's all of those relationships, and there's a multitude of tradition, culture, position, accountability that I have to be responsible for at another level, for the same fact that you are my client and I work with you and you honor me as a coach, as I do being your client, your student, and honoring you. So, it's really given me a great perspective over time now, over the year and a half, that I see and appreciate and honor who you are, the work that you've done, and that continues to take that respect up a notch. So, thank you for what you've made.
Yes, sir. To me, and like I said earlier, is respect is kind of the core. It's hard to do all the other things that we do if we don't respect the person or the people or the institution or our school or whatever it is. If you don't have respect for it, you're not going to treat it the way it's supposed to be treated. You're not going to get out of it what you should be getting out of it. There's just an undertone that it creates to make sure all the other stuff can operate. we, we talk about you can respect people, but we also, the reason we bow when we get on the door or when we get on the mats is we're just showing respect for the place that we're spending the time training, right? We're provided this space that's specific to what we're doing, and we show respect by treating it the way it's supposed to be treated, by not by cleaning it, by honoring it when we're using it. If we're using, so we have bladed weapons that we train with, our goal is to not make holes in the floor or holes in the wall. We do our best for that. Obviously that's not gonna always work out the way we want it to, but our best, the best way to do that is to make sure that you are showing the respect that it's due, so that way we have the training space going forward. If we're not respecting it, if we're not taking care of it, if we're not doing all the things we need to do for it, we're not going to have the space to use. So it's important that we show the respect that it's due, so we have that opportunity to be able to train there. It's it's obviously it's a material space. We respect our weapons, we respect our gear, we respect all those material things, but it's at the same time, if we don't respect them, we don't take care of them, they're not going to last, they're going to get broken, all that stuff. And that means then we're not, as students, we're not respecting our parents for having purchased that stuff for us. I mean, it just it goes from one thing to the next when you show respect for that stuff. So it's important that we respect what we have, respect what we've been given, and give it its just desserts.
I broadened for those of you watching this, I broadened the picture out. And I see we have some comments. So let me just take a look. Oh, this is somebody that I know who says, I'll just go through and show. He said to say good morning, way to relate. Says hello. He's from North Central Pennsylvania. He's another Zig Ziglar coach. And, he says this, which I, wow, just like our bodies, there's, how do we respect ourselves? It's a great point. I widened out the camera because over here you can see, I have the American flag, I have military, and I have Taekwondo, and pictures up on the back. And for me, I have the Stars and Stripes flag for the respect that I show. I mean, I became a citizen here in the United States in 1983, and and went into the military, into the Army. And I did both of those things out of the respect for this country, because I live here. And, I wasn't born here just out of that advantage. We moved here, and I had an opportunity, and I respect that opportunity to become a citizen. And I chose to honor this country and spend time in the military because I feel that it gave me an insight, a very valuable insight, very valuable lessons to the freedom that we're afforded in this country. So when it comes to things like, somebody burning the flag, right, to show that their independence and show their freedom, it's like, well, wait a minute, think about it before. Yeah, that may be what you're trying to demonstrate and communicate. The difficulty is the disrespect that it shows is so profound that it masks any nugget of information, of positivity that you're trying to create. And so, respect is one of those things where it's respect is very black and white in many, many cases. And that black and whiteness has a caveat to it, is be responsible for the listening that is being surrounded by you, by your community. And I think, and I'd be interested to hear your reaction to this, but my sense is that part of the respect you have for Taekwondo is the respect that you see being given to you, being given to the school, being given to the sport, being given to the elders of the sport, and the degree to which you've seen that and you continue to see that allows you to give it back, is a part of that impetus, that drive to give it back, and to give it back tenfold so that it continues to raise all boats.
You talk about, in society right now, there is a huge lack of respect for each other. We can go nationally, we can go internationally, we can go down to the state level, county level, whatever. There's just this lack of respect for each other's opinions, lack of respect for each other in general. And to me, when I see that, that's not how a society is supposed to function, right? That's like I said, with how our school operates, that's how in life, if we're not showing respect for each other, we can disagree with each other, and that's fine. But if you're not respecting each other, you're undergirding all the problems that, when you have an issue, it just amplifies it, because not only do I disagree with you, but now I'm going to disrespect you. I'm going to call you names. I'm going to treat you poorly. And it just permeates through society and makes so many more issues that much bigger. So for me, teaching respect, I'm trying to bring that back, right? So my opportunity to do that is through the students that come through my door. I'm going to teach them respect and what it means to respect not only each other, but themselves. And when they start with themselves, that starts to go out to how they respect other people. Because I always say, like, if you call somebody names, if you're saying bad things about people, it doesn't say anything about the person you're saying it to. It says everything about who you are as a person. So when you are showing disrespect to other people, you're actually disrespecting yourself and sending a message to those other people that you don't have respect for yourself. So it's a huge issue that I see, and I'm trying to do my part to help make it better.
Yeah, it's awesome. I think it's I look and some of the things on here that we don't necessarily talk about very much are, one of the points is respect for the dojo or the training space, the studio, cleanliness and maintenance. Respecting the dojo, the training hall, means keeping the space clean, organized, and free of distractions. Martial arts practitioners are often taught to clean their uniforms, shoes, and the dojo itself, as this demonstrates respect for the place where training occurs. Sacred space. For many martial artists, the dojo is not just a gym or a training hall. It's a sacred space where learning, growth, and personal transformation take place. Treating the dojo with reverence by being mindful of noise, behavior, and attitudes shows respect. And, for me, some of this is missing in this world. I mean, kids today, there's a lot of kids that don't even know how to clean. Right? They don't know what a mop is. They don't know what a brush is. They've never used Clorox. They've never used bleach or Comet or Ajax. They have no clue. And I think about that, and I just, since we've let it fall apart, my experience is it's time for that revival. And whatever that looks like, to have it revived. And I know once I understood with my bed, making it in the military and getting inspected right after getting up and having breakfast and getting our rooms inspected, there was an intention behind it. so that when, the first thing we did had integrity. And then when we came back, there was, to be able to see the difference that it makes, and to know, I think this is, so here's a point. There are people, and I'm going to say this lovingly, but I'll use it because most of us know what it means, that are very anal retentive. If they see a pencil, instead of straight up and down on the desk, and they see it at an angle, they want to straighten it up. So the people that see that, it's a distraction from them paying attention to the class and what's going on. They see that you've hung a poster on the wall, and the poster's off center. And, a quarter of the people in the room will notice it, and that will distract them. Yeah.
Yeah, we if you think about military and their gear, right? If you got a soldier out on the battlefield, he's got his firearm, he's got his ammo, he's got his pack full of whatever gear he needs while he's out there. If he's not taking care of that stuff, if he's not maintaining his weapon, if he's not maintaining his gear, it's going to fail. And if it fails, he has no use for it, and then he's in trouble, right? So he has to show respect for his stuff, because that way he has it to use, right? It's not just we need you to take care of your stuff because that's what we want you to do. It's not about that, right? It's about making sure that in the future all that stuff is operable. That's like it could be life or death for them, right? Sure, it's not life or death to take care of your uniform, take care of your weapons, take care of your gear, take care of your dojo. But if you don't take care of your stuff, you're not going to have it.
Yeah.
Right? If you don't take care of your uniform, it gets dirty and you don't clean it properly, or you wear it outside playing in the grass or whatever, you wreck it. Say it's a kid, mom and dad paid for that. Right? Now that it's wrecked, they have to pay for another one. And you're not paying attention to your stuff, taking care of it. You're not going to have it. Mom and dad eventually can say, nope, sorry. I guess you're going to have to go in a t-shirt and sweats. Right? So there's that whole underlying issue of when you take care of your gear takes care of you.
Yeah. I think, and that's the nail you just hit, right? If you take care of if you respect your gear, and out of respect for it, you take care of it, it then will pay you back a dividend called being available, being usable on the flip side.
Yep.
Yeah. And
so there's
I'll be interested to hear your answer. See this. This was another comment. You might want to read it out loud for those that are just listening.
Do you think bullies are seeking respect from a weakened foundation? My experience with bullies is it's not so much a respect thing. It's a more of a, I guess, personal respect. It'd be the more appropriate thing to say is they don't respect themselves because they don't feel good about themselves. They perceive themselves in a negative light, and their way of expressing that is to lash out at others to try and make them not feel the same way about themselves. So by taking other people down, they perceive that they feel better because now somebody else doesn't feel as good either. So, I mean, I can see it as a lack of respect for themselves. So they don't know how to express respect to other people because they don't know what respect is, or they lack the understanding of respect. So I can understand that point. So that's a part of it for sure.
It's awesome.
But like I said, in my experience, it's more a lack of self-confidence, of belief in themselves. They just don't feel good. Maybe they're treated poorly by, their family, their parents, their mom and dad, their siblings, other people. So instead of seeking the positive light, they lash out in a negative light, because they don't know how it's what they've been taught. They don't know any different. So they don't know how to express themselves in a different way. So if we talk to our kids about, hey, you want bullies to stop bullying, one of the best ways I've found is make friends with them. Invite them to come sit down and lunch with you. Make them feel good, right? Sure, it might take a little while. It might take several attempts where they just lash back out at you. But I think ultimately, if you're making that decision to be nice to somebody, show them respect, eventually they're going to, I think, reciprocate, because it's hard to continue to beat somebody down when they're always nice to you. If somebody every morning says, good morning, how's your day going? Screw you, you're a jerk, you're fat, you're ugly. Thank you. Next morning, hey man, how's it going today? Eventually they're going to be like, why is this guy always so nice to me? Right? It gets into their mind about it, and it can change them. I've seen it happen.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's really
but
good.
you show respect to people, eventually they're going to reciprocate, because it's hard. Like I said, it's hard to consistently be disrespectful to somebody who's respecting you.
Yeah. And I think, and I don't know if we're thinking about this and covering this, but the inner growth that we have, the respect for the person in the mirror, right? Part of one of the things that as a business coach and, with people that I work with, is one of the biggest deals is, love the person in the mirror. First love yourself, then you can love another. And that love is a respect for, who we are. And, for a lot of you, my faith background, and that, yes, quote unquote, I am religious. And one of the spaces that provides for me in a respect thing is that I have to remind myself of many times is that, and this is different, and it's different, but I think there's a parallel for many other religions, other than me, that I'm as a follower of Christ. There's a parallel for many other religions and quote unquote spirituality driven people, is that in honoring myself, I honor my faith. I was quote unquote, according to some of the religious beliefs that and writings that I follow, I was made in God's image. So if I'm disrespectful to myself, I'm being disrespectful to my creator. And for those of you that are spiritual that are listening, if I'm disrespectful to myself, I could be disrespectful, that in turn is to my parents, the people that created me.
Mm-hmm.
And I look, and some people say, well, my parents got divorced and blah, 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 and I grew up without a father, or I grew up without a mother, or rah, 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 rah. It's like, well, wait a minute. You were you came into this world, and to respect that gives you a positive platform to work from. If you come in and you take the negativity of that, because we have a choice in any situation to react with positivity or negativity. We have a choice. We have that choice. And if you take the negative approach to that, and create a negative foundation, what do you think you're going to attract in life?
Yep.
I mean, it's a law.
Yeah.
It's a universal law.
Reciprocity.
You are going to attract negativity.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't believe me, test the theory. Smile all day and walk through the mall.
Yep.
And then the next day, stay up all night, get hungover from caffeine or whatever substance you want to get hungover from. Come to the mall and have a frown on your face and walk around the mall. I guarantee you, the experience from one to the other will demonstrate the difference for respect.
Yep. Yeah, what you put out, you get back. This is how it is.
Yeah.
You can believe it or not, but there's no like physical proof. Like I can't say go look at this research and this will tell you exactly what it is. But it's evidentiary that if you're nice to people, if you spread positivity to people, you're going to get it back. If you spread negativity to people, you're going to get it back. If you think negative thoughts about yourself all the time, that's what you're going to get. If you're always saying, if you say you are studying in math and you suck at math and you keep telling yourself you suck at math and this is so hard and I can't do this, your brain hears you and goes, okay, you suck at math. And it keeps doing it, right? You might struggle with math, but you keep talking about how, I'm going to practice and I want to get better at it. And I want to get my grades up. You keep telling yourself that, your brain hears you and your brain's go, okay, let's get it done. It's very powerful. And when you put that stuff out there, that's what you're going to get back. It's just how it works. At least I believe that.
Yeah. I think there's so much evidence to that. Whether you and I believe it or not, the evidence is overwhelming.
Yeah.
All right. Well, any final thoughts before we?
I just think, the number one thing with respect is it starts with respecting yourself. When you start with you, it will work its way out, right? If you don't respect yourself, nobody else is going to respect you either. They can sense it. They can feel it. They can see it. So, it starts with maybe, cleaning your room, making your bed, brushing your teeth, taking a shower, respecting that part of you, eating right, exercising, being nice to people, just those things, they're basic stuff, but it's very powerful. And then it goes from there.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Yarwood. Thanks for this.
Yes, sir.
For today. Do appreciate it. Thanks for those of you that are watching, that have reacted. Sean, Waite, and Wade, appreciate that. And those of you that are spread out, whoever is watching on Yarwood's Martial Arts Facebook, appreciate that. And with that, we will see you next week.
Yep.
And
see you on the mats.
Whoop, whoop.